In a surprising twist of fate, a young millionaire who had ascended from humble beginnings found himself in a whirlwind of revelation during his wedding. He had married a waitress from a modest background, and at the height of the ceremony, she unveiled a secret that left everyone stunned. The revelation sparked a wave of realization among the guests, casting a spotlight on Adrian's journey from obscurity to affluence. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Adrian's story began in a quaint, unremarkable town where he was born into the Sowell family, neither privileged nor wealthy. From a tender age, Adrian harbored a burning desire to rise above his circumstances, dreaming of a life replete with prosperity and acclaim. His ambitions were met with derision and skepticism from his own family. His father, grounded in the reality of their financial struggles, would often dismiss Adrian's dreams with a resigned, "We're accustomed to the hard grind of labor, not to scheming for wealth." Despite his father's pragmatic approach, young Adrian fervently believed that wealth did not necessitate exploitation or dishonesty. Being wealthy doesn't equate to taking advantage of others or earning through deceit, he would argue with a conviction that belied his years. His mother, however, perceived his aspirations as naive and impractical. "You're too idealistic, my son," she would say with a tone of weary wisdom. "Life has yet to teach you its harsh lessons." The lack of support from his parents stung deeply, yet Adrian's resolve remained unshaken. His dreams, rather than dimming, grew more intense, their light a beacon that guided him through the trials of youth. Each night, as he lay in bed, Adrian would close his eyes and envision a life of luxury, an expansive home with a sparkling pool, surrounded by lush greenery, a sanctuary of comfort and tranquility. His imagination soared with dreams of global adventures and the freedom to explore the world that awaited him with financial success. At school, Adrian's unwavering focus set him apart. He was consistently among the top students, driven by a relentless pursuit of knowledge and a clear sense of purpose. His dedication was palpable. He would often burn the midnight oil, poring over textbooks and engaging with subjects beyond the standard curriculum, foregoing soccer games and social outings to fuel his ambition. His parents, astonished by their son's fervor and discipline, were initially skeptical when he announced his intention to apply to a prestigious university in the capital city. "Are you truly committed to this, Adrian? Do you genuinely believe you can manage it?" his mother would ask with a mix of concern and disbelief. "I have absolute confidence in my success," Adrian would respond with unwavering determination. His mother's response was one of resigned disbelief, a shake of the head that spoke volumes. Yet, as it turned out, Adrian's prediction came true. After completing his schooling, he enrolled in a renowned university, diving headfirst into the study of business technology. His academic journey was marked by active involvement in team projects, competitions, and entrepreneurial studies, each experience enriching his knowledge and skill set. Adrian's boldness extended to engaging with prominent businessmen who visited his university, seizing every opportunity to gain insights and expert advice. This proactive approach allowed him to understand the intricacies of business and solidified his path toward achieving his dreams. Adrian's journey was not only marked by his unwavering ambition, but also by the valuable connections he forged along the way. His drive and youthful dynamism caught the attention of numerous company owners who were eager to harness his potential. They extended invitations to join their firms, recognizing the promise he held. This unexpected turn of events left his family astounded when Adrian disclosed the offers he had received. They urged him to seize one of these opportunities, believing it was a path to stability and success. Yet Adrian, true to his independent spirit, remained steadfast in his vision. Upon completing his university education, Adrian made a bold decision that diverged from conventional wisdom. He chose not to accept any of the lucrative job offers that had come his way. Instead, he embraced the uncertainty of entrepreneurship, determined to carve out his path. With a keen interest in computer technology, he embarked on a new venture, launching an online school dedicated to programming, website development, and financial management. Throughout his academic career, Adrian's exceptional talent had earned him several cash prizes from competitions and contests. He generously shared a portion of his winnings with his parents while judiciously saving the remainder. Armed with his savings and fueled by his passion, Adrian gathered a team of university friends to join him in this ambitious project. They poured their hearts and souls into the endeavor, working tirelessly around the clock to perfect their product and prepare for its launch. When the time came, Adrian rolled out virtual advertisements to promote the online school. The initial response was tepid, but Adrian's strategic acumen, honed through his studies, began to pay off. His marketing strategies gradually drew attention, and the platform's innovative concept of flexible, at-home learning began to resonate with a growing audience. The number of students enrolling surged daily, and within a year, Adrian's online school had skyrocketed to become one of the most sought-after virtual learning platforms. The success of his venture attracted significant interest from major investors, who offered substantial funding to further propel the project. With this influx of resources, Adrian expanded his team and began developing additional courses, which were swiftly introduced to the market. His platform's reputation soared as he secured collaborations with leading global experts, further enhancing its appeal and credibility. In no time, Adrian's hard work and vision bore fruit, and he celebrated the milestone of earning his first million. His achievements garnered widespread recognition within the business community. Adrian was invited to speak at prestigious conferences and forums, where he shared his journey and insights, inspiring aspiring entrepreneurs with his story of perseverance and innovation. His success was not merely a personal triumph, but a beacon of inspiration, demonstrating that with determination and courage, extraordinary dreams can become reality. After a particularly engaging meeting, Adrian found himself craving a bite to eat and decided to unwind at a charming restaurant nestled beside the business center. As he stepped inside, he was immediately enveloped by the inviting ambience, a soft, warm glow from the lighting, captivating paintings adorning the walls, the soothing strains of quiet music, and the tantalizing aroma of freshly brewed coffee. At that time of day, he was the sole patron of the cozy eatery. Adrian chose a table positioned beside a grand stained glass window, its intricate patterns casting colorful reflections on the floor. Settling in, he perused the menu with a sense of anticipation, eager to savor the culinary delights the restaurant had to offer. Moments later, a waitress approached him. She was a strikingly beautiful young woman with deep brown eyes that seemed to hold stories of their own and a welcoming smile that exuded warmth. The subtle, enchanting fragrance of floral perfume seemed to linger in the air around her. Her name tag, affixed to her crisp white shirt, identified her as Angela Ramirez. "Good afternoon," Angela greeted him with a soft, melodious voice. "Have you made your selection?" Adrian's heart fluttered unexpectedly at her presence. There was something ineffably captivating about her that piqued his curiosity and made him want to know more. "Good afternoon, Angela," he replied, his voice laced with a hint of eagerness. "I'd like to start with a cappuccino and sample your signature seafood pasta." Angela's eyes sparkled with a genuine smile as she nodded in acknowledgement. "Certainly, your meal will be prepared shortly," she said before gracefully retreating from the table. A short while later, Angela returned with his order. She placed the steaming plate of seafood pasta and the frothy cappuccino before him with a cheerful, "Here is your seafood pasta and cappuccino. Enjoy your meal." Adrian expressed his gratitude with a sincere smile and began to relish his lunch. As he finished, he noticed Angela standing at the bar, engrossed in a book. When she sensed his gaze, she hastily closed the book, set it aside, and made her way back to his table. "Did you enjoy everything?" she inquired, her voice carrying a note of genuine concern. Adrian nodded with appreciation. "Yes, it was wonderful. If you could kindly bring me the bill, please." Angela returned moments later, carrying a small, elegant leather folder. She placed it gently in front of him and then made her way back to the bar. Adrian settled the bill, adding a generous tip to express his gratitude for her attentive service. As he rose from the table, he glanced towards Angela once more. She was once again at the bar with her book. When their eyes met, Angela lifted her gaze and greeted him with a radiant smile that seemed to illuminate the entire room. "Thank you for dining with us today," Angela said warmly, her eyes twinkling with genuine hospitality. "We look forward to having you back." Adrian, reluctant to leave, slowed his departure and, with a hint of curiosity, asked, "Forgive my inquisitiveness, but what book are you reading?" Angela's eyes brightened as she replied, "It's a documentary novel about travel, based on the author's real-life experiences. He describes places, customs, and cultures that are entirely new to me." Adrian's interest was piqued. "That sounds fascinating. I'm also passionate about traveling," he said, though he hesitated momentarily. Given Angela's age and occupation, he presumed she might not have had the chance to travel extensively and was only able to experience the world through books. He also wondered if she might recognize him. Although his face frequently graced the covers of business magazines, he reasoned she might not be immersed in the business world and might not connect his face to a name. He preferred to remain unnoticed, as he often worried that women might be attracted to him solely because of his wealth. "What countries are on your travel wish list?" Adrian inquired casually. Angela's face lit up with a wistful smile. "I've always dreamed of visiting New Zealand. My father spoke so fondly of it," she said, her expression suddenly becoming tinged with melancholy. Adrian's heart ached for her, knowing that with her current salary, such a trip would require considerable savings. He had visited New Zealand himself and had been enchanted by its lush landscapes, but he chose not to mention it. "That's a beautiful dream," Adrian responded sincerely. Angela's eyes sparkled with nostalgia. "They filmed The Hobbit there, which was one of my favorite books when I was younger." "So, you've been a book lover since childhood?" Adrian asked with genuine interest. Angela nodded, her gaze softening. "Yes, it's funny. My father was the one who ignited my love for reading. Despite his long working hours, he always made time to read to me before bed when he came home early. He introduced me to some of the world's most beloved stories and fairy tales." Adrian smiled warmly, touched by the tenderness of her recollection. The story she shared seemed incredibly endearing, and he wished to prolong their conversation but didn't want to overstep any boundaries. With a polite nod and a heartfelt farewell, he left the restaurant, his thoughts lingering on Angela. Throughout the evening, she occupied his mind, and he resolved to return to the restaurant the following day, hoping to see her once more. To Adrian's dismay, when he returned to the restaurant the next day, he discovered that Angela had the day off. He enjoyed a solitary dinner and returned home, resolved to try his luck again the following day. This time, fortune smiled upon him. As he entered the restaurant, he was greeted by Angela's radiant smile, which seemed to brighten the room. Adrian had chosen to visit during the quieter hours of the day, and his strategy paid off. The restaurant was almost empty, with only Angela sitting quietly with a book. Adrian chose the same table he had occupied before, and Angela approached him to take his order. This time, he decided to put his trust in her recommendations. "I'd love to try something new today," Adrian said with a hopeful smile. "Can you suggest a dish?" Angela's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "How about our spinach pie? It's a house favorite." "That sounds perfect." "I trust your taste," Adrian replied, "and I'd like a cup of cappuccino, just like last time." Angela nodded and gracefully moved away from his table to place the order. Adrian took a few deep breaths, attempting to calm his racing heartbeat. He glanced outside, pretending to be captivated by the view, while inwardly he was fervently brainstorming a new topic of conversation. When Angela returned with his order, Adrian, still struggling to find the right words, decided to ask about her recent reading. "So did you finish the travel book you were reading yesterday?" Adrian inquired, adjusting a napkin as if it were a crucial detail. Angela's face lit up. "Yes, I finished it in one sitting. It was quite absorbing." "What are you reading now?" Adrian asked, eager to continue their conversation. Angela's face brightened further. "I'm currently engrossed in a travel log about Japan. I was fascinated to learn how meticulously clean the Japanese are. They clean their floors every day." "That's intriguing," Adrian said, his interest genuinely piqued. "I haven't had the chance to visit Japan yet, but it's definitely on my list. Do you have any other book recommendations on the subject?" Angela paused, considering her options. "There are a few more books I've enjoyed, but I'm not sure which one stands out the most." "I appreciate the suggestions. I'll be sure to look them up," Adrian said with genuine gratitude. As they continued their conversation, Adrian discovered that Angela had a deep passion for books about diverse cultures and traditions. Her eyes sparkled with enthusiasm as she talked about her dreams of exploring far-off lands and experiencing different ways of life. Their discussion flowed effortlessly, and Adrian felt an unexpected yet profound connection with her, as if they had known each other for years. When it was time for Adrian to leave, he realized that his visits to the restaurant had evolved into something much more meaningful than just enjoying a meal. They had become a source of personal joy, and he eagerly anticipated his next visit. One day, Adrian decided to make a grand gesture. He invited Angela to dine at a luxurious restaurant, a gesture that took her by surprise. During their elegant meal, Adrian revealed a special surprise. He proposed a trip to New Zealand, sharing his dream and inviting her to explore it together. Angela was overwhelmed with disbelief, feeling as though she had been transported into a dream. Adrian's heartfelt explanation about his admiration for her passion for learning and his desire to help her realize her dream of visiting New Zealand left her speechless with gratitude. The sheer magnitude of the gesture was beyond anything she could have imagined. Their journey to New Zealand was nothing short of magical. They ventured through breathtaking landscapes, marveled at renowned landmarks, and immersed themselves in the rich tapestry of local culture. Adrian found profound joy in witnessing Angela's unbridled happiness and sense of wonder. Each moment spent exploring and discovering together only strengthened their bond. Upon returning home, the connection between Adrian and Angela blossomed into something deeply meaningful. They discovered a wealth of shared dreams and values, which brought them even closer. Their relationship, grounded in mutual respect and affection, naturally evolved into a commitment to build a life together. Adrian came to understand that his wealth and accomplishments gained their true significance when shared with someone who genuinely touched his heart. For Angela, the trip to New Zealand was not only the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, but also the beginning of a profound love and companionship she had never anticipated. On their wedding day, surrounded by a circle of cherished friends and family, Adrian and Angela exchanged vows of eternal love. During the ceremony, Angela made a surprising confession. She had recognized Adrian during their first encounter at the restaurant, but chose to remain silent about it. This revelation left the guests, including Adrian's family, in awe. The realization that genuine love and deep connections surpass material wealth and status resonated strongly with everyone present. Adrian and Angela's journey became a beacon of inspiration, illustrating that love and shared values could bridge even the widest divides and bring people together in the most beautiful ways. As the newlyweds began their lives together, They embraced the joy and fulfillment that came from their union. Their story was a testament to the belief that true happiness is not measured by financial success, but by the love and joy found in authentic, meaningful relationships. Eager to express his commitment, Adrian took a significant step. The next day, he visited a jeweler and commissioned an exquisite ring featuring a pink gemstone shaped like a heart. The craftsman assured him it would be ready within a week. Adrian, filled with anticipation and hope, eagerly awaited the moment he could present the ring to Angela. When the much-anticipated day arrived, Adrian planned a special outing. He invited Angela for a romantic stroll, hinting at a memorable evening. As they wandered through their favorite park, Angela's eyes were drawn to a vibrant red hot air balloon gently floating in the sky. Excitedly, she suggested they approach it for a closer look. To her astonishment, the balloon's operator, an affable older man with a mustache, greeted them warmly and extended an invitation to join him on a ride. Angela's eyes widened in disbelief. "Is he going to take us up in the balloon?" she asked, her voice tinged with wonder. Adrian smiled with a mix of excitement and nervousness, nodding in affirmation. He gently took Angela's hand and guided her toward the balloon. As they ascended, the world below gradually transformed into a patchwork of colors and shapes, and Angela's amazement was palpable. Adrian, however, remained focused on the velvet box hidden in his pocket, ready to make this moment as unforgettable as his love for her. When the hot air balloon reached a breathtaking height, Adrian took a deep breath, preparing for the most significant moment of his life. Gently turning Angela towards him, he looked into her eyes, his heart pounding with anticipation. "Angela, there's something I'd like to tell you," he began, his voice filled with sincerity. Angela's eyes sparkled with curiosity and love. "Then tell me," she urged, her smile soft and encouraging. Adrian took a moment to gather his thoughts. "You know how much you mean to me. You've changed my life in ways I never imagined, bringing new meaning and joy. I've realized that I want to be with you forever." With those heartfelt words, Adrian reached into his pocket and pulled out the velvet box he had been carrying. He opened it to reveal the stunning pink gemstone ring. "Angela, will you marry me?" The proposal caught Angela off guard. Her eyes filled with tears of joy as she took in the magnitude of the moment. "Yes, Adrian, of course," she replied, her voice trembling with emotion. Without hesitation, Adrian slipped the ring onto Angela's finger. They embraced tightly, the world around them fading away as they reveled in their happiness. The balloon carried them above the clouds, symbolizing their newfound joy and shared future. The very next day, Adrian and Angela embarked on planning their wedding, determined to create a day that would be as memorable and special as their love. They wanted every detail to reflect their unique bond and the joy they felt. Choosing a venue was the first step. They decided on an outdoor ceremony surrounded by the beauty of nature. After much searching, they found a picturesque restaurant with a spacious veranda overlooking a serene lake. The tranquil setting provided the perfect backdrop for their romantic celebration. Angela took on the task of creating the wedding invitations herself. She selected pastel-colored paper and adorned it with delicate floral patterns. Each card featured a tiny dried lily of the valley flowers, symbolizing love and devotion. Angela carefully penned each invitation with her beautiful handwriting, adding a personal touch to the process. "Dear friends, we would be delighted to see you at our wedding," she wrote. Adrian was deeply impressed by Angela's thoughtful and artistic approach. "How lovely," he said, admiring her handiwork. Angela's cheeks flushed with happiness, and she hugged him tightly. "I want everything to be special," she replied with a radiant smile. As the days passed, Adrian and Angela's excitement grew. They continued to plan and prepare, ensuring that every detail was perfect for their special day. Their love story, filled with shared dreams and genuine connection, promised to create a wedding day that would be remembered fondly for years to come. As Adrian and Angela stood together at the altar, the serene lake and lush surroundings created a picturesque setting for their vows. Adrian, clad in his classic black tuxedo, gazed at Angela, who was radiant in her silk wedding dress with a lace back and long train. The delicate pastel tones of pink, white, and green adorned the veranda, with floral arches and garlands of pink and gold lights casting a magical glow over the ceremony. Angela's long white gloves added an elegant touch, and her hair was styled beautifully, complementing her overall look. Adrian, although nervous, wore a broad smile, reflecting his excitement and joy. The ceremony was conducted flawlessly. The priest's words were heartfelt and meaningful as he guided them through their vows. When Adrian and Angela exchanged their I do's, a collective sigh of happiness swept through the guests. The moment was sealed with a tender kiss, marking the beginning of their new life together as husband and wife. As they embraced, Adrian's parents stepped forward, their eyes glistening with pride and joy. They extended their warm congratulations to the newlyweds, expressing their happiness for their son and welcoming Angela into the family. The meeting of both families was filled with heartfelt emotions, laughter, and shared stories, making the day even more special. Following the ceremony, the guests moved to the reception area, where the meticulously planned details came to life. The exquisite menu offered a delightful array of dishes, each prepared with care to please the palate. The centerpiece of the evening, the multi-tiered wedding cake, was a true masterpiece, adorned with figurines of the bride and groom. The band played romantic ballads, setting a soothing and elegant tone for the evening. Later, as the night progressed, the DJ took over, and the younger guests enjoyed the chance to dance and celebrate. Adrian and Angela joined in. Their happiness is evident in every smile and dance move. The wedding was a perfect blend of elegance, romance, and personal touches, reflecting the love and dedication that Adrian and Angela had poured into planning their special day. The celebration was a memorable occasion, bringing together friends and family to honor the couple's commitment to each other and the bright future ahead. Angela's parents looked at each other, their expressions a mixture of shock and concern. Her father took a deep breath before speaking. "Angela, we need to tell you something very important," he began, his voice trembling slightly. Angela's mother nodded in agreement, her eyes filled with worry. "We didn't want to ruin your special day, but there's something you need to know. Adrian, he's someone we know very well." Angela's heart raced. "What do you mean?" she asked, trying to remain calm. "Do you know him from somewhere?" Her father took another deep breath. "Yes, we do. Adrian is the son of a man who had a significant impact on our lives many years ago. He was a business associate of my father. There were complicated circumstances, and we thought we had left that part of our past behind us." Angela was stunned. "But why didn't you tell me about this before?" Her mother's eyes were misty. "We didn't know how to. We were afraid it would change things for you, and we didn't want to interfere with your happiness." Angela's mind raced as she processed the information. "Are you saying there's some sort of conflict or issue between our families?" Her father shook his head. "No, there's no conflict now. The issues were resolved a long time ago. But we were never expecting this. Adrian is a well-respected businessman, and we thought he wouldn't remember us. We didn't want to bring up old wounds." Angela turned to her parents, her heart aching. "I understand why you were worried, but this is a part of our lives we can face together. I love Adrian, and he has been nothing but kind and supportive. If there's any past issue, I'm sure it won't affect our future." Her mother nodded, still emotional. "We just wanted to be honest with you and make sure you understood." At that moment, Adrian approached their table, his concern evident. "Is everything all right? I noticed something seemed off." Angela took Adrian's hand and looked at her parents. "Mom, Dad, this is Adrian. He means the world to me. Adrian, my parents have some concerns because of our past connections, but I'm sure we can work through this together." Adrian, though initially surprised, took a seat next to Angela's parents and spoke gently. "I understand this must be difficult, but I want to assure you that my feelings for Angela are genuine. Our past doesn't define our future. I am committed to building a loving and supportive life together." Her parents looked at Adrian, their apprehension beginning to soften. After a moment of silence, her father finally spoke. "Thank you for your understanding, Adrian. We appreciate your words and your kindness." Angela's mother reached out and took Adrian's hand. "I'm sorry if we seemed distant earlier. It's just that we were taken aback." The tension eased as they all began to talk openly. Adrian and Angela's parents shared stories and laughter, gradually bridging the gap that had formed. The wedding celebration continued, now infused with a deeper sense of understanding and connection. Despite the unexpected turn of events, Adrian and Angela's love for each other shone brightly, proving that even the most surprising challenges could be overcome with honesty, compassion, and a commitment to each other's happiness. As Adrian spoke, Angela stood beside him, her emotions a tangled mix of confusion and sadness. She managed a weak smile for the audience, but her mind was racing with her father's revelation. Adrian continued, "From the moment I met Angela, I knew she was special. Our journey together has been filled with moments of joy and love, and I'm so grateful to have her by my side." Angela tried to listen, but her father's words echoed in her mind. Her parents had accused Adrian of destroying their lives, but she struggled to understand the details. She glanced at her parents, who sat at the table with solemn expressions. As Adrian finished his heartfelt speech and invited Angela to say a few words, she took the microphone with trembling hands. Her voice was choked with emotion as she began, "Thank you all for being here today. I am incredibly grateful for your support and love. This day is meant to be the happiest of our lives, and I hope you can share in our joy." She paused, looking out at the sea of faces. "I want to share something with you," she continued, her voice quivering. "Recently, I learned some things about Adrian that have left me deeply confused and troubled. I'm still trying to process everything." Adrian's face fell. He reached out for Angela's hand, but she withdrew slightly, still trying to reconcile her feelings. "I know that today was meant to be a celebration," Angela said, her tears threatening to spill over. "But I need time to understand what's happened and what it means for us." Adrian looked at Angela with a mix of heartbreak and determination. He could see that she was struggling but wanted to support her through this difficult moment. The guests watched in stunned silence, sensing the gravity of the situation. Adrian's friends, who had been celebrating, now looked on with concern. The atmosphere had shifted from one of joy to one of tension and uncertainty. After Angela's speech, she and Adrian left the stage. Adrian's mind was racing with questions. He needed to understand what had happened and how it could affect their future together. Angela's parents, though they were still shaken, seemed to have softened a little, understanding the importance of resolving the situation with sensitivity. Back at the table, Angela sat down and looked at her parents. "I need you to explain everything to me now. Please tell me what you meant about Adrian destroying our lives." Her father took a deep breath and began to recount a story from the past. Years ago, Adrian's family was involved in a major business venture that led to a scandal. Your mother and I were caught up in it, and it severely impacted our finances and our reputation. We struggled for years to rebuild our lives. I didn't realize until today that Adrian is part of that family. Angela's heart sank as she listened. She felt torn between her love for Adrian and the pain her family had endured. "I had no idea about this," she said quietly. "Adrian has always been kind and supportive to me. I need to talk to him about this and figure out what it means for us." Adrian, who had been standing nearby, approached cautiously. "Angela, I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. I had no idea about the connection between our families until today. I want to work through this with you, but I understand if you need space." Angela looked at him, her eyes filled with both love and conflict. "I need time to process everything, Adrian. I love you, but I need to understand how this affects our future." Adrian nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "Take all the time you need. I'll be here for you, no matter what." The couple faced an uncertain future, but the love they shared remained a beacon of hope. Their journey was now filled with challenges, but they were committed to facing them together, hoping to find a resolution that would allow them to move forward as a couple, despite the shadows of the past. The revelation of Angela's past and the truth about her father's role in the downfall of Adrian's family sent shockwaves through the wedding. The festive atmosphere that was supposed to mark the beginning of a new chapter in their lives was overshadowed by the weight of secrets and misunderstandings. Adrian and Angela, once brimming with joy, now found themselves engulfed in emotional turmoil. Adrian's sense of betrayal was palpable, not because of Angela's past per se, but because of the timing and the secrecy surrounding it. He had always envisioned a future with Angela, built on trust and mutual respect, but this sudden disclosure had eroded the foundation of their relationship. Angela, on the other hand, felt a deep sense of shame and confusion. She had tried to maintain the illusion of normalcy and happiness, hiding the pain of her family's fall from grace and the impact it had on her life. The fact that her father had kept so many secrets from her and failed to shield her from the full extent of their financial ruin had added another layer of hurt. As the guests gradually left, Adrian and Angela remained in the now empty venue. The silence between them was heavy with unsaid words and unresolved feelings. Adrian finally broke the silence. "Angela, I don't know what to say. I didn't expect any of this. I thought we were starting a new life together, not unraveling old wounds." Angela looked at him, her eyes filled with tears. "I never wanted this to happen. I didn't mean to hide anything from you. I thought I could protect you from the pain of my past. I didn't realize how much it would affect us." Adrian sighed, his expression softening but still marked by sadness. "I understand that you were trying to shield me, but the truth always has a way of coming out. It's just, everything feels so fractured now. I need time to process this." Angela nodded, her heart aching. "I do too. I never wanted to hurt you or cause any distrust between us. But right now, I'm not sure how we move forward." They spent the rest of the evening in quiet reflection, both struggling to reconcile their feelings and make sense of the events. The grandeur of the wedding day had been replaced by the stark reality of their situation. As the night wore on, Adrian and Angela came to a mutual decision. They needed to take some time apart to reflect on their relationship and their future. They had to rebuild trust and find a way to communicate openly and honestly, something that had been overshadowed by the revelations and misunderstandings. The following weeks were challenging for both. Adrian focused on understanding his feelings and processing the shock of the past revelations. Angela worked on coming to terms with her past and figuring out how to address the underlying issues with her family. In the end, both Adrian and Angela realized that while their journey together had taken an unexpected and painful turn, they still cared deeply for each other. They decided to seek professional help to navigate their relationship's complexities and work on rebuilding their trust and understanding. Though their wedding day had ended in sadness, it marked the beginning of a new chapter where both would have to confront their pasts and work towards healing. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but their commitment to each other was the foundation upon which they hoped to build a future together. Thank you for joining us through this heartfelt and complex journey. We've explored a story filled with unexpected twists, deep emotions, and valuable lessons about trust, love, and the impact of secrets. As we reflect on Angela and Adrian's experience, we invite you to think about what you've learned from their story. What insights or lessons do you find most relevant to your own life? Please share in the comments below one thing you've learned from this video and how you plan to bring that lesson into your own life. We'd love to hear your thoughts and how this story has resonated with you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful and inspiring content for you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to connecting with you in the comments.